Hello, my name is Kathy, and I will cut to the point real quickly and say that I am here because I have Lyme's disease, and I am the proud discoverer as of a little over a year ago that I have Lyme's disease. In other words, unwelcome inhabitants under my epidermis. And I would like to say that I've watched many of you on YouTube and listened to your stories and looked into your eyes and your recordings and heard your voices and heard the desperation and the sense of loss and the grief, and I'm right there with you, right there with you. This is, I hope, this is a brief entry, or hello, this is an introduction to me. I have had Lyme's disease now for at least 17, 18 to 20 years, probably longer. I grew up in an area that is endemic for it now, and it was present then, but nobody knew it. And I learned just a year ago on Facebook, when I put my profile up, that many of my friends back in the state that it is endemic in now told me that I needed to get checked for Lyme disease, and I hadn't gone home for a couple of decades, and it had been nice to be here where I am. Loving, but I moved on, and I thought I'd gotten on with my life, and then wham, I was hit with this illness, and I was dealing with it and all other kinds of things in life, which I want to say, I don't know if you've noticed, yeah, there, see, I am in a wheelchair. In this past few years, it seems with every death and every loss of any kind, there comes a worsening of the illness. It's almost textbook. It's frightening, really. But I now want to say that I'm also a clinical social worker, psychotherapist, and I've been in private practice for about 15 years. I started to fade out of practice 5 years ago, and so when I say 15 years, I say that loosely because I did private practice for 10 years until I started to taper off because I was getting so sick. I was in the wheelchair. I started sitting in the wheelchair, and of course not always in the wheelchair. I tease people about that. Well, I do go to the bathroom, you know. I was in there starting almost 17 years ago is when I went into the wheelchair. But I'm in great shape. I really am, but I've gotten very skinny, especially since I started treating. I can go into greater depth on my treatment, and I will try to be thorough and not too lengthy in my explanation of what I've done when I found out, because of course my primary physician at that time denied that I had it based on the standard blood titer test, the clinical blood test that they give. As many of us know, that is not always effective. But I want to say that I am very humbled to have met all of you through hearing your stories, and all of you whose stories I have not heard. I want to say thank you. I so appreciate it. I'm very grateful that you've been courageous enough to come forward. This sucks. Sorry. I don't know if I was supposed to say that. I hope they run it now. So anyways, thank you very much for listening, and hopefully I'll be back, and hopefully you guys will be hearing this. Adios.